Forget the flashy sports cars you thought defined the 90s, because the true legends wore disguises. From family wagons tuned like race machines to executive sedans capable of outrunning police interceptors, these sleepers shattered expectations. One in particular, the Lotus Carlton, was so powerful that governments wanted it banned outright. Top 1 1995 BMW 540 IM Sport US. It looked like just another E34 on the lot, quiet, businesslike, and almost boring. But hiding under the hood was a rare sleeper born from Munich's obsession with precision. The 1995 BMW 540 IM Sport wasn't just a luxury sedan, it was a wolf wearing a banker's suit. On the surface, the 540 IM Sport seemed tame. Clean E34 lines, a subtle M-Technic body kit, discreet 17-inch system wheels, and a cabin dressed in supple leather with faint sport bolstering. The dashboard wrapped in driver-focused ergonomics, wood trim, and BMW's signature red backlighting all whispered executive refinement. Only the trained eye would notice the firmer suspension, the M steering wheel, and that rare 6-speed manual lever features that separated it from a regular 540i. The surprise came when you pressed the throttle. Beneath the hood sat BMW's 4-liter M60 B40 V8, producing 282 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. Paired with the Getrag 420G 6-speed manual, this sedan sprinted to 60 mph in 5.6 seconds, a figure shocking for its era. And exclusivity? Just 200 units were built for the US in 1995. That number makes it rarer than some Ferraris of the same decade. For the lucky few owners, this wasn't merely transport, it was a secret weapon. It could shame muscle cars at a stoplight, devour miles at Autobahn pace, and yet glide unnoticed in the corporate parking lot. Collectors now hunt them furiously, as many examples disappeared quietly into private garages, their footage elusive and their story half forgotten. A stealth V8 executive missile, built in numbers so tiny it feels like a rumor, but across the Atlantic, a European sedan was rewriting the rules of speed and fearlessness, a machine so dangerous that lawmakers tried to silence it. Enter the legend of the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton. Top 2 1994 Renault Safrane Biturbo. If you thought French sedans of the 1990s were all soft suspensions and quirky styling, think again. Hiding in plain sight was a machine engineered with German precision and French flair. The 1994 Renault Safrane Biturbo. From the outside, the Safrane looked like any other large executive Renault. Smooth, rounded body lines, modest headlights, and a conservative stance that blended seamlessly into the Paris business district. Inside, the cabin exuded luxury. Sup-leather upholstery, wood trim, dual-zone climate control, and ergonomic seats built for marathon drives across the autoroute. It was quiet, refined, even understated. Only the sharp-eyed noticed the discreet Biturbo badging that hinted at something unusual. That badge mattered. Beneath the hood sat a 3-liter PRV V6, force-fed by twin turbos, a project fine-tuned with Irmscher and Hartke. The result? 268 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque, channeled through all-wheel drive. Suddenly, this executive cruiser could surge to 60 mph in just over 7 seconds. Production was shockingly low, only about 806 units ever built between 1994 and 1996, with the 1994 cars being among the rarest. For owners, the Safrane Biturbo was both privilege and punishment. It had the thrust to dual German sedans, but its fragile twin-turbo setup made maintenance costly, and dealers were ill-prepared to service it. Many fell into neglect, leaving few survivors today. Those who drive one describe a surreal split personality, silent refinement that suddenly transformed into raw turbo surge when the throttle is buried. A French luxury sedan that tried to out-German the Germans, only to fade into obscurity. Yet across the Rhine, Germany had its own sleeper masterpiece, a family wagon with the heart of a racing machine. Top 3 1992 BMW M5 Touring E34. A station wagon with the soul of a racing car? It sounded absurd in the early 90s, but BMW made the impossible real with the 1992 M5 Touring, a hand-built sleeper that redefined what family hauling could mean. From the curb, the M5 Touring looked like any other E34 wagon. boxy, practical, and thoroughly sensible. It wore roof rails, a wide cargo hatch, and the same restrained kidney grille as the humblest 5 Series. Step inside and the luxury was obvious. Soft leather upholstery, supportive sport seats, ample rear legroom, and a cavernous load bay that could swallow bikes or luggage. Yet beneath the subtle M tricolor stitching on the steering wheel and the discreet Motorsport badging, something extraordinary lurked. That secret was the S38B38 engine, a hand-assembled 3.8-liter inline-six producing 335 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. Coupled to a slick 5-speed manual, it launched the wagon to 60 mph in just 5.9 seconds. Performance usually reserved for pure sports cars. And exclusivity? Only 891 M5 Touring models were ever built between 1992 and 1995, with the 1992 production run among the rarest. Every single car rolled out of BMW Motorsport's Garching facility, assembled by hand. This dual-purpose machine quickly became legend. Owners could haul groceries during the week, then devastate Porsches on the Autobahn over the weekend. Collectors today hunt relentlessly for survivors, as so few remain unmodified. Period footage captures the surreal image of a family wagon moving like a thoroughbred racer, the howl of the straight six shattering its calm disguise. A German wagon built by hand, practical yet predatory, and rarer than many exotics. But the idea of turning an ordinary sedan into a weapon was pushed even further in Britain, where the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton ignited controversy by outrunning police cars. Top 4, 1990 Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, Opel Lotus Omega. It looked like a bland executive sedan parked outside a bank. But in 1990, Vauxhall and Lotus conspired to create one of the most feared sleepers of all time, the Lotus Carlton, also sold as the Opel Lotus Omega. From the outside, the Carlton seemed ordinary. Boxy lines, 4 doors, and conservative styling made it nearly invisible in traffic. Only subtle flared arches, discreet badges, and 17-inch Renault alloys hinted this was no standard Omega. Inside, it remained modest. Leather Recaro seats, a Lotus-branded shifter, and a familiar dashboard. Nothing screamed menace. It looked every bit a company car. Beneath the hood lurked Lotus engineering fury, a 3.6-liter straight-six, force-fed by twin Garrett T25 turbos, unleashed 377 horsepower and 419 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a ZF 6-speed manual borrowed from the Corvette ZR1, it hurled this sedan to 60 mph in 5.1 seconds, and on to a staggering 176 mph. Production was capped at 950 units worldwide, ensuring its mythical rarity. Performance was so outrageous that British tabloids demanded it be banned. Police cars of the era couldn't catch it, fueling its legend as an outlaw. Collectors now revere the Carlton as a symbol of audacity, an ordinary 4-door that embarrassed Ferraris on the motorway, yet blended into traffic when driven gently. A sedan so fast it rattled governments and outran the law. But stealth power took another shape when Audi's Motorsport division built a restrained yet lethal machine. Top 5 1996 Audi S6 Plus, C4. It was the first car built entirely by Audi's Quattro GmbH, the skunkworks that would later evolve into Audi Sport. The 1996 Audi S6 Plus looked like a mild executive car, yet under its hood lurked a hand-built monster. Visually, the S6 Plus was discreet. The C4 body carried clean lines, modest bumpers, and restrained badges. Most saw only a practical sedan or avant wagon fit for family and luggage. Inside, it echoed premium Audi luxury, leather seats, wood trim, and bank vault ergonomics. Only careful eyes spotted the darker chrome, firmer sport chairs, and a numbered plaque, hinting this was no ordinary S6. The secret was its reworked 4.2-liter DOHC V8, hand-tuned to 322 horsepower and 302 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 6-speed manual and Quattro all-wheel drive, it sprinted to 60 mph in 5.6 seconds, astonishing for its class. Production remained microscopic, just 952 units in total, split between 855 Avants and 97 sedans. That exclusivity made the S6 Plus both obscure and significant. It marked the very first product of Quattro GmbH, laying the foundation for legends like the RS4 and RS6. Collectors prize its mix of understated looks and raw capability. On European highways, few recognized its quiet menace until it thundered past, leaving sports cars unsettled by a family hauler wearing only a subtle plus badge. A family Audi disguised as a commuter, yet bred as the prototype for RS legends. But stealth power wore a sharper edge in France, where Peugeot hid rally engineering beneath ordinary sheet metal, the 1993 405 T16. Top 6 1993 Peugeot 45 T16. By the early 90s, Peugeot wasn't expected to build world-beating performance sedans. Yet in 1993, they shocked enthusiasts with the 405 T16A discrete four-door, infused with Group B rally DNA. At first glance, the 405 T16 looked like any middle-class Peugeot. Boxy lines, a simple grille, and conservative proportions blended into city traffic without notice. Step inside, and you'd find comfort over aggression. Supportive sport seats, leather trim, climate control, and a dashboard designed for long-distance cruising. Only subtle badges, slightly flared arches, and discrete alloy wheels hinted at hidden performance. That performance came from serious rally technology. Beneath the hood sat a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4, producing 200 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. Power was delivered through a sophisticated permanent all-wheel drive system with a viscous center differential and electronically adjustable suspension. Suddenly, this unassuming sedan could sprint to 60 mph in 7 seconds, a number usually reserved for coupes and hot hatches. Production was scarce. Only 1,046 units were built from 1993 to 1995, making the single-year 1993 models particularly collectible. The 405 T16 was a dual-purpose machine, calm, composed, and refined when driven gently, but savage when pushed. It embodied Peugeot's rally heritage, effectively becoming a homologation special disguised as a family car. Collectors now hunt for surviving examples, as many were lost to neglect. Footage today shows the surreal sight of a plain sedan keeping pace with sports cars from BMW and Audi, proving its status as a true sleeper. A French sedan armed with rally tech and built in tiny numbers, it proved that appearances deceive. But Italy had its own answer to the discrete sleeper formula, an Alfa Romeo sedan with all-wheel drive and turbocharged ferocity. Top 7 1994 Alfa Romeo 164 Q4. Italy's sedans were usually known for passion and style, not for hiding brute force, but in 1994, Alfa Romeo released the 164 Q4A discrete luxury sedan that combined sharp design with advanced all-wheel drive muscle. On the outside, the 164 Q4 looked like an elegant executive car penned by Pininfarina. Its wedge profile, clean lines, and modest trim blended effortlessly into traffic. Inside, it offered classic Alfa charm: leather seats, wood accents, and a driver-focused cockpit. Passengers enjoyed refinement and comfort, with little to suggest this was more than an upscale cruiser. The surprise lay beneath the hood. The 164 Q4 housed a 3-liter turbocharged V6, producing 230 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. Linked to a 6-speed manual and a sophisticated permanent AWD system with a Ferguson viscous coupling and Torsen rear diff, it surged from 0 to 60 mph in 6.9 seconds. Rarity was guaranteed. Only about 1,206 examples were built between 1993 and 1997, with 1994 cars among the rarest. This made the 164 Q4 a true Italian sleeper. It offered the style and elegance Alfa was known for, yet carried enough power and grip to rival German Autobahn sedans of the era. Owners described it as 2 cars in one, comfortable for daily use but shockingly quick when unleashed on open roads. Today, collectors value its scarcity, performance, and unmistakable design pedigree. Footage reveals how quietly it blended in until the turbo spooled, transforming a refined sedan into a snarling predator. An Alfa that proved Italy could build a stealth weapon wrapped in elegance. But while Southern Europe delivered finesse, Japan unleashed a wagon tuned by racing engineers, the 1997 Nissan Stagea 260 RS Autech. Top 8 1997 Nissan Stagea 260 RS Autech. Imagine a family wagon secretly engineered by the same team that built the Nissan Skyline GTR. That was the 1997 Nissan Stagea 260 RS Autech, a car that looked ready for groceries but lived for speed. At first glance, the Stagea seemed like an ordinary long-roof Nissan, Straight body lines, a practical hatch, and understated trim made it indistinguishable from any commuter wagon. Inside, it offered generous cargo space, comfortable seating, and the layout expected in a family car. Only small Autech details and discreet 17-inch wheels hinted at something special. Underneath, Autech engineers transplanted the RB26 DET 2.6-liter twin-turbo inline-6 straight from the R33 Skyline GTR. It produced 276 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 5-speed manual and a Tesla ETS all-wheel drive. This wagon could rip 0 to 60 mph in 5.7 seconds, performance nearly identical to the GTR itself. Production was limited, only 1,734 units built between 1996 and 2001, with 1997 models among the earliest and most prized. The 260 RS blurred boundaries between practicality and performance. It could haul luggage, carry kids, and then humiliate sports cars at stoplights. Collectors now view it as the ultimate JDM sleeper, with footage often showing unsuspecting rivals stunned as a wagon surges past with the howl of twin turbos. It proved performance didn't need a coupe body. Japan had perfected stealth power. A wagon infused with GTR DNA, shocking the world with practicality and pace. But Japan's sleeper story wasn't done. Another sedan quietly crossed the Pacific, the 1991 Mitsubishi Galant VR4. Top 9, 1991 Mitsubishi Galant VR4, USDM. Before the Lancer Evolution became Mitsubishi's rally legend, there was another sedan carrying its DNA. In 1991, the Galant VR4 landed in America, a discreet four-door that brought world rally technology to suburban driveways. From the outside, the VR4 looked nearly identical to a standard Galant. Clean lines, modest bumpers, and a conservative profile helped it disappear in traffic. Inside, it offered early 90s comfort, cloth or optional leather seats, air conditioning, and a simple dashboard. Only small cues, fog lamps, a subtle trunk badge, and the full-time AWD layout hinted at something more. Beneath the hood sat the 2-liter turbocharged 4G63 inline-4, producing 237 horsepower and 224 pound-feet of torque. Power was sent through a 5-speed manual to a sophisticated AWD system with a viscous center differential and 4-wheel steering. The result? A 0 to 60 mph sprint in just 6.5 seconds. Sports car numbers for a family sedan. Production was limited, roughly 2,000 cars in 1991 and 1,000 in 1992, making the 1991 model rare yet attainable. The VR4 gave Americans a taste of rally-bred technology years before the Evo arrived. It looked tame, but could devastate twisty roads, earning cult status among enthusiasts. Collectors now chase clean survivors, though many were driven hard and lost. Period footage shows them sliding through gravel stages one weekend, then carrying kids to school the next, a true split personality. A Japanese sedan that smuggled rally DNA into America, offering pace and grip in disguise. But the sleeper saga of the 90s ended in Scandinavia with a turbo wagon that shocked the world. Top 10 1995 Volvo 850 T5R. In the mid-90s, Volvo was known for safety, boxy design, and conservative image. No one expedited them to build a turbocharged sleeper that could run with Europe's finest. In 1995, the Volvo 850 T5R changed everything. At first glance, the 850 T5R looked like any other Swedish family car. Squared-off lines, vertical taillights, and a sensible stance gave no clue of its aggression. Inside, it carried Volvo's trademark comfort, leather upholstery, wood trim, and ergonomic simplicity. But sports seats trimmed in Alcantara, subtle yellow stitching, and a thicker steering wheel hinted that this was not just another commuter. The wagon painted in cream yellow became its cult signature, instantly recognizable, yet still understated. Beneath the calm exterior sat a 2.3-liter turbocharged 5-cylinder, producing 240 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. With either a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual, it reached 60 mph in 6 seconds. Porsche helped tune its chassis, giving the T5R handling ability that shocked skeptics. Production was limited to around 6,964 units worldwide, split between sedans and wagons, making it rare but not unobtainable. The T5R transformed Volvo's reputation. It showed the brand could deliver more than safety. They could build a sleeper with true pace. Period footage shows these wagons storming past sports cars while still carrying groceries in back. It blended practicality, durability, and unexpected speed, carving out a place in performance history. A boxy Swedish wagon turned into a cult icon, the 850 T5R stands alone as Volvo's boldest sleeper of the 1990 SA car that forever proved sensible design could hide a rebel's heart. These 10 machines prove that the 1990s weren't just about style, they were about stealth power, hidden in plain sight. From France to Japan, from Italy to Sweden, sleepers rewrote the rules of performance. Which one shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to join Muscle Cars Revolution for more untold automotive legends.